Oh, this morning we're going to talk about gas, not gas in your car, but gas in your belly. We're going to talk about gut health and gas. I'm Dr. Natalie Gonzalez. I am an integrative and functional medicine practitioner. I'm a retired surgeon who went back to train in both of those areas. And integrative just means that I practice using complementary or alternative things and conventional things to optimize people's health. And functional means that I look for the root cause, the underlying reason that something is going is becoming abnormal in your body. Okay, so no band-aids. In this case, we're going to talk about gas and gut health. Is it good? Is it bad? What does it mean? And it's very interesting when you have gas. A lot of times, we'll decide whether it's good or bad based on the smell. And in some cases, the smell is an indication of healthy gut bacteria or unhealthy gut bacteria. One of the most important things to know is that it is never your body that is making gas. Your body has no physiologic way to make air inside your intestine. What makes air inside the intestine are bacteria, and they produce air when they feed and feed on fiber, and then they release air into your intestinal tract. And both good bacteria and bad bacteria, non-beneficial bacteria, do this. So you can't just go by gas to determine if your gut is healthy or not. Now, if your gut is producing a lot of gas, or your bacteria are in your gut producing a lot of gas, and you are constipated, meaning that you're not passing stool on a regular basis, or you're passing hard stool intermittently, then that's going to make you very, very uncomfortable. And so when people have gas build up to the point that they become very bloated and their belly puffs up with air, that is often telling us that they're not moving stool through their intestinal tract as easily as they need to. And again, the solution for feeding healthy bacteria and moving things through your intestinal tract in a healthy, regular, normal way is fiber. Fiber comes from plant foods. You don't find fiber at all in animal foods. You only find it in plants. Nuts, seeds, beans, legumes, grains, all of those things, fruits, vegetables, all of those things are plants. All of them have fiber, and all of them are what feed our healthy gut bacteria. When I have people look at this, I want them to usually take a day or two, get kind of a food diary. There's all kinds of them out there on the internet that you can use for free or minimal, or you can just look it up on the internet for each food that you eat. Take the amount of food that you ate and the amount and put it into a tracker like that and add up how much fiber was in it. I see people that have 4 grams of fiber a day. I see people that have maybe 10. They say that the average in the United States per day, per person, is 13 grams of fiber. I do not see that in my own practice with all of the people that I'm working with. I see much lower amounts than 13 grams. And what we're aiming for, minimum, would be 30 grams a day, and more like 50 would be healthier. I know when I first started doing this, I was getting 20, 25 grams a day. And as I moved on and I started to do this more, what I find now is I easily get 70 grams of fiber a day. And that was not the case when I started. The other thing that I find is after doing this for several years and doing it consistently, especially for the past year with with a plant-based diet, that my system is much more regular. A lot of times people will have bowel movements that occur every 2 to 3 days. That's really not considered regular. We're looking for something on the average of once or twice a day for a bowel movement to be normal. And not, we don't want solid stool and we don't want liquid stool. We want something in between so that you're not having diarrhea and you're not having hard pellet-like stools. So yes, I know I was only going to talk about gas today, but yes, so just because you have gas, that does not mean that your gut is unhealthy, but you need to be thinking, is it moving things through your system? Are you feeding the healthy bacteria? And one way you're going to be able to tell that is by the odor associated with the gas. And the healthy bacteria tend to have just a lesser strong smell to it, and you will know whether you're on the right track with your gas production. But don't just think that just because you have gas, you have an unhealthy intestine. It just means that you may be feeding the wrong bacteria, and you need to just look at it a little more clearly or closely. Make sure you're feeding them some of those healthy fibers and get some of that healthy bacteria into your system. You don't necessarily have to take probiotics for this. If you get a little bit of fermented foods like sauerkraut, miso, kimchi, maybe you ferment your own foods. We have a couple of videos like that for fermenting your own foods. Making your own yogurt out of, you can make it out of dairy, but you can make it out of non-dairy milks also. And just, maybe add a probiotic capsule the first time, but once you get a culture going, you can do your own. And when it comes to fermenting fruits and vegetables, especially vegetables, you can develop your own collection of healthy bacterias for your gut without spending a lot of money on probiotics. It doesn't do any good to spend any money on probiotics or to eat those fermented foods if you aren't feeding them. So make sure you feed them with healthy fibers. The fibers will help move things through your system. You will be much more comfortable with this air and air production just moving really easily through your system. And I want you to go out there and have a great day. If you think this has been helpful for you, make sure that you share it with somebody that you know that it might be helpful for, a family or friend. If you think that it was helpful but you don't know anybody like that, ask YouTube to share it. Just like it, and they'll find somebody similar to you to share it with. Subscribe if you haven't, and look for our next video. I'll be talking a little bit more about, we have some videos out there on fermented foods. I will want you to take note of the fibers in your food, and we'll have lots of other videos on all of these things. Fermented foods are really great for your gut. So let's get out there and have a great day, everybody. Take care.